I was saying for a long time that Frank Buglioni and his team were avoiding the Anthony Yarde fight. I said this in several videos that to me it appeared obvious they didn't want that fight. And at the same time, Anthony Yarde and his people, Frank Warren, Tunde Ajayi, they weren't really trying to face Jose Burton. So it was a strange situation in the domestic light heavyweight division where this one is avoiding that one and that one's avoiding this one. Strange situation. But yeah, I said all along that in my view it seemed obvious that Buglioni and his team did not want the Anthony Yarde fight. They were concerned about the fight. Now, Eddie Hearn has inadvertently proved that he was complicit in protecting Frank Buglioni from Anthony Yarde. Because now that Callum Johnson has beaten Frank Buglioni, Eddie Hearn is straight away saying that he's willing to match Callum Johnson with Anthony Yarde. Straight away. As soon as Johnson's become British champion, now he's like, yeah, we'll do the Yarde fight. What? How come he wasn't like this with Buglioni? He's clearly got far more confidence in Callum Johnson, and maybe it's more of a case that Callum Johnson and his team have got far more confidence in themselves than Buglioni and his team had. Maybe that's really what it's all about. Because, yeah, Eddie Hearn straight away is saying, we'll do Callum Johnson versus Anthony Yarde, no problem. And how do you guys see that fight going if it takes place? Anthony Yarde versus Callum Johnson. I'm assuming that most people would be picking Callum Johnson because they see him as the more seasoned guy in terms of his amateur career. In terms of professional wins, it's not like Callum Johnson has fought a much higher level of opposition than Anthony Yarde has, because he actually hasn't, other than the Frank Buglioni fight. He really hasn't fought anybody either. So you can't say quality of opposition as a professional is reason to pick Callum Johnson. But I guess there's always a backlash against hyped up prospects. And Anthony Yarde is a hyped up prospect. But just because he's hyped up, it don't mean he can't actually fight. I personally think Anthony Yarde can fight. What I'm unsure about with Anthony Yarde is whether he has the heart, because I don't know if he's got the heart yet, because he's a happy-go-lucky character, and that's a good thing to be as a boxer. He's happy and all that kind of stuff. But there comes a point in a boxing ring where it's no longer fun and games. Yeah? All that smiling and laughing Anthony Yarde likes to do. There comes a point in a boxing ring where you get in a fight and you're getting hit hard, you're getting hurt, and it's tough in there. It's no longer plain sailing. How will Anthony Yarde react when he gets into that kind of situation, when he gets into a real fight? I'm not sure, and I want to see that first before I can be confident in him going all the way. But in terms of his physical attributes, he has everything required to go all the way to the top and to win a world title. I've got no doubt he's got the physical attributes for it. He's got athletic intelligence. He's a precocious talent. But does he have it inside? That's the question I have. Is he mentally and emotionally tough enough to cut it at the top level? Callum Johnson, I suspect, probably is, because of the fact that he's got this extensive amateur background. He was a gold medalist at the Commonwealth Games and stuff like that. So you'd have to imagine he does have the mental fortitude. But I'm not as impressed by Callum Johnson's physical ability as I am Anthony Yarde's. Callum Johnson's got good physical ability, good technical ability too. But he's not as precocious to me from when I look at him as an Anthony Yarde. But I do believe that he has to be, in order to have won a Commonwealth gold medal and done all the things that he's done as an amateur, and, you know, going in there against Buglioni and doing what he did, he has to have a certain level of mental toughness and emotional control, you know, particularly off the back of his dad dying and stuff like that, and him and his dad were like best friends. So he's clearly got a level of emotional and mental toughness there, which we don't know that whether Anthony Yarde has, you see. So it's going to be interesting. I hope if Eddie Hearn offers the Callum Johnson fight to Anthony Yarde, that Yarde takes it. We'll see. because they didn't want that Jose Burton work. Let's hope they want the Callum Johnson work. Let me know how you feel in the comment section, people. It's happening. I'm out.